Hi, everybody. Welcome to our semester project, part 3.
So the solution we chose was to pause the activity the students were working on and diffuse the situation, and then give the student the needed supplies to continue working on their project. And then after that, to create a more lasting solution, we talked about bringing up the situation at a staff meeting to identify the situation and come up with a school-wide solution. So things like this could be prevented in the future. And in order to do that, we talked about utilizing resources like the PTA for support to provide all students with supplies. And this would ensure that all students feel confident and included and able to work on, on their projects. And then we found a couple of resources that support our solution. One article said, quote, children have to be equipped with what they need in order to have a better learning experience. The stress of feeling left out and different can lead to a lack of focus. Being prepared keeps children motivated and excited, close quote. And then another article said, quote, the inclusion of educational materials and supplies is part of the right to free education.
Something that Steph just mentioned about feeling left out helped us to identify an additional solution. So after providing the materials that all of the students would need, the teacher can have and has a responsibility to create a positive environment and climate in the classroom. So one way that they could do this would be to create classroom rules and collaborate together as students and teacher to come together to feel like a team and to really identify some things that can help them to work together and to also provide and have an equitable and safe environment in the classroom. One thing that a teacher could do to do this is to model words like we and our instead of mine, and identifying also ways that and encouraging students to look for ways to help each other and support each other. Some of the pros to this solution would be that all students would be able to have an opportunity to express what they feel is important in the classroom for rules and expectations, and that it also can create unity and inclusion instead of students feeling left out. It could be inclusive. Some cons would be that some students might not really feel comfortable voicing their opinions or sharing their ideas. But of course, this could be resolved by a teacher knowing exactly how to support that student and helping them to feel confident and comfortable sharing their ideas. Another potential con would be that this is a solution that would take time. It would not have an immediate change, but it would be a process.
Given that the funds to provide supplies for each student might not be available due to budget restrictions, an alternative would be for the school to use a smaller amount of funds to provide the necessary supplies for each classroom as a whole. Instead of providing them to each student, these supplies would always stay in the classroom. Some pros with this solution is that the school would be able to use a smaller amount of funds or from their budget to provide these supplies, and the students will have all the supplies needed in the classroom. Some cons with this solution is that some students might not have supplies at home, and this in turn will the teachers will need to make adjustments with their assignments and not send as many assignments home due to the fact that some students might be lacking supplies. It would be ideal to provide each student with an estimation of the supplies needed throughout the year, especially those that are unable to purchase their supplies. For this reason, we chose the solution suggesting to address the situation during staff meeting, as well as utilizing resources such as PTA for support to ensure that each child has an equal opportunity for learning.
So another solution that we discussed was that a teacher may fix the immediate problem and decide that it was an issue of stealing. The classroom is diverse and it may occur again. So the teacher may have thought it would be a good idea for everyone to learn from the experience. As a result, the teacher will talk to the whole class about the importance of not taking things without asking to prevent more incidents in the future. Some pros of this solution is that it teaches a valid lesson to the whole class. And because that she's teaching it to the whole class at one time, it can address the situation quickly. Some cons, though, is that it could embarrass the child because the situation and the problem was very public to the whole class. So having this discussion with the whole class may embarrass the child that was involved, and that may really hinder the child from feeling comfortable in the classroom and being able to make friends and feel welcome enough to learn in the classroom. And then another con is that it doesn't address the true problem. Our other solution really touched on the point that the student doesn't have the needed supplies, and this solution doesn't address that part of it, which is kind of what we wanted. We wanted something that addressed a deeper problem, and the solution just doesn't address everything that it needs to. It does fix the immediate problem, but it doesn't truly help anyone or fix anything. We chose our solution because we didn't want anything that would embarrass the child, and we wanted a solution that led to a change and overcame the socioeconomic differences of the students. This one, the child is still lacking the needed supplies for school. So overall, this one just doesn't hit all the points that we wanted it to.
So for working on this project, our diversity had a huge impact on the project. We all had different ideas, so we were able to each come up with good ideas through conversation, and we were able to respect each other's points of view and really listen to each other to create, to come up with a good idea. And then all of us have different experiences that affected our ideas. And then our different learning styles led to a comprehensive approach to our solution because we all had something unique to contribute.